Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Apollo Cosplay, had to think about that then. And this is Noctis, who always hates being in my videos. I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a makeup cosplay video. I've been very busy. I've been trying to focus on my other channel nowadays, which is the makeup one, but I want to keep this channel active and keep it going and keep you guys entertained. So today we're going to be doing my Loki look. Now, you guys have seen this on Instagram, here and here. One of the biggest things about this cosplay, which is important to know, is that it requires, at least for me with my face, a lot of extra skin. Now, I know there's some controversy over face taping, but I feel like there's a big fucking difference between you raising the height of your cheekbones and the definition of your face and taping your eyes to make them look like they're Asian. Obviously, the latter is a really fucking racist thing to do, and you shouldn't be doing that for any character. But the face taping that I'm doing today is more traditional kind of drag face taping. I am tightening up my good cheekbone. Also, I will be putting eyelid tape on my eyes. Apply it to create a double lid, which is a Western genetic feature. I've got a double lid, but I've also got very hooded eyes. And eyelid tape can be used to create a bigger amount of lid space on your eye to basically just make your eye look bigger and a bit less hooded. I use that with my Loki. You can see the tape very briefly when I open my eyes, when I close my eyes, but anyway, I'm gonna get along with that and I'll get back to you once I have done. When using any form of tape for your face, you need your face to be free of its oils. I'm using the Glow Tonic by Pixie. It is 5% glycolic acid exfoliating toner. This also, I'm pretty sure, has alcohol-like substances in it, so it will clean the area. You can, of course, use something like micellar water to just clean all the oils from your face. Make sure to get this around the areas that you want to tape up. You might as well just do your entire face, actually. It will clean it, tone it, it will be good to it. This depends on what wig you guys have. If you've got a wig with a lace front hairline that fits your hairline pretty perfectly, you might be fine. For me, I've got a wig hairline that goes quite far back into my actual hairline, so I'm gonna need to flatten the front of my hairline down first before I put my wig cap on and before I start taping my face. I will be using the Got To Be Glued spiking glue and actually a little spoolie like this. Taking a little bit on my finger, I'm gonna apply it into my hairline, work it down. A little goes up a long way with this product. And slick it straight back. And repeat across the entire hairline. Now the glue is more or less dried down, I'm going to take my micro porous tape. This is basically just tape that you use to attach wound dressings. I'm going to tape my face upwards. Here we are, we've got the two tapes just here. All it is pulling my face up and past my ears. It is a bit tight on my face, but come on, you do what you gotta do. I look very overexposed and I can't get my camera to not make me overexposed. I'm gonna use my eyelid tape. It's little tapes just like this, and I'm gonna take a cotton swab of alcohol. Do not get this near your eyes, kids, but I'm just gonna clean my lid by the crease line. Let's zoom you in, shall we? Got one here. You wanna have the curved edge along your fold line, like so. As you can see, it makes my fold stop a little bit earlier than this side. It's a very subtle difference, but it's a difference I think that makes sense. For Loki's eyebrows, I'm going to use a combination of tools. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Brow Blade, which has a very fine waterproof pencil tip to it. And then I'm going to use the Benefit Brow Goof Proof brow pencil, and this one, oh, wrong side, has a much bigger blade to it, and I'll use that to fill them in. Loki's brows, at least on my face shape, are quite straight and have a slight curve at the edge going down, but they are also quite big because they are masculine brows, and I want to emphasize my brow bone more than anything else. Let's hope this works out. The joy about doing brows before any other products is that you can actually take a makeup wipe or a reusable Q-tip and just fix the shape. Did I mention how warm it is in my room? Very. Using my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade 8B on the back of my hand, I'm going to use a flat tip brush which looks like this. This one is a Morphe M423 brush to cut out my brows. And the eyebrows are done. I've blended out the Shape Tape with a little blending sponge. I'm gonna do my eyes next. I'm going to prime my eyes with a tiny bit more Shape Tape on a sponge. I'm gonna go in with a brown neutral tone eyeshadow. I want the shadows to not be warm toned, I want them to be cool toned. For my eye look, I'm going to be using the Naked Decay Ultimate Basics palette. As you can see, this palette has been well loved. It's honestly, in my opinion, one of the best cosplay palettes you could ever buy. It's got a big mirror for conventions, and it's all the right shades for any masculine makeup. Highly recommend this one. Brush wise, I'm going to use a small, densely packed blending brush, a bigger, fluffy blending brush, and a little one. So I've got the big one, small one, and then a dense one. Going in with the shade Commando, first of all, I'm going to hit the inner crease, being very careful of the eyelid tape that I put down earlier. Now that I've set that down, I'm going to go further into Tempted, which is this shade here, and further deepen that crease line. And blend it all over the lid. Taking that bigger blending brush, I'm just gonna, there's no product on this, I'm just gonna blend it all together into the skin tone. I want the brow bone here to be very defined, so I'm gonna go into the shade Blow, which is here on the palette, and maybe a little bit of pre-game, really highlight that upper bone area. Back into Tempted, just to redefine some of the blend. Now I'm going to go into the darker shades. I'm going to go into Faith, which is this brown down here, and go into the outer corner and into the outer V here. Going darker further, we're going to go into Lockout. Finally, I'm going to go into the shade Lethal, which is a dark brown up here, almost a burgundy. Take that on the brush and hit the outer V. I'm going to leave the eyes for now, do the rest of my face, foundation it up, contour it up, and then I can do my lower lash line. Loki is a very pale individual, and I have a very, tanned face. I have a very freckled face. It gives the illusion of a darker skin tone, but actually I'm quite pale in comparison. So I'm going to use the Juvia's Place 740 shade. I love this so much. Such a little amount goes such a long way, and I'm gonna. The only downside to this product is that too much comes out of the bottle too fast, and then I can't put it back in the bottle. So basically I'm wasting product, and I don't really like that. You see what I mean? It will blend up to a nice shade. This foundation also oxidizes, so it'll go down a shade. I don't know if you guys can see, but just up here, there's some discoloration in the foundation. This is because I forgot to remove the glue that I used on my hairline on my skin, and of course that's sticking to the glue, not anything else. To set my under eyes and the majority of my face, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D translucent setting powder. I do not support Kat Von D anymore, considering her stance on vaccines, but because I bought this many moons ago, I'm going to keep using it until it's gone, and then I'm going to recycle it. I found that if you're a convention goer and you're doing makeup for conventions, you really want to actually bake your face. It will stop makeup from moving around, it will stop makeup from like coming off because of sweat, hence why I'm just blitzing. I realise that my eyes do look a bit pulled outwards. It's not really the eyes, because like very little of it is actually pulled. I've got a lot of stretch here. It's just the makeup. I pulled it so far out into the side, it makes making my eyes look very, very narrow. I hope no one takes offense. I also usually with my eye makeup take it upwards into a circle, but this time I've literally just taken it here on the outer corner into a winged effect. It is making my eyes look a bit narrow. I'm aware of that. But even if I were to like pull this out, it's not making much of a difference. I worry because there are trolls on the internet that can take one thing, take it out of proportion, and then blow it up into extremity so no one knows the actual truth of the matter anymore. Isn't the online world wonderful? Anyway, I've baked my face and I'm going to contour it now. And I'm using the Cocoa Contour Palette by Too Faced. It's got, again, some nice neutral tones to it, and it smells like chocolate. What more could you want? I'm going to hit the shade Medium Cocoa and begin to pull it down my cheeks. Loki has a very angular face. We're going to need to make my face more angular as well. And blend out the shade. I don't want any harsh lines at all. Let's get the temples. Men's foreheads are a lot bigger than biological females, and of course I'm trans, but obviously I haven't gone through my transition yet with medication, so my forehead is still quite narrow, not as high as I hope it will be one day. And so we're just gonna contour the sides of the face, taking that into the hairline as well, and the cheek. See how narrow my face looks in comparison to this one. Oh yeah. Oh, that one is slipping. Oh, that's bad. No, don't slip. This would be fine if I were in an air-conditioned room, but I'm not. Now I'm done with the contour. I'm gonna take my big ass NYX Professional Makeup brush in number 3. It's a big fluffy brush, and my Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade India Sun. And I'm going to bronze my face on top of everything else. And this will just kind of blend everything together into a more natural tone. I want my face to look human, and I'm sweating so goddamn much. Taking my big fluffy brush, I'm going to go into the bronzer, and I'm going to start to highlight my tendons of my neck. Using the same big blending brush and my Cocoa Contour Palette in the shade Medium Cocoa, I'm going to contour my nose, and I'm going to bring the bridge of my brows a lot further forward. I'm going to do this by putting on some brown shadow literally underneath my brows. This creates the illusion that my brows are a lot further forward and in shadow rather than as far back as they are. I'm going to brush away the bake. I'm going back in with my small blending brush, which is a Morphe 507. I'm going back into the Naked palette from Urban Decay. I'm going to use the same shades. I'm going to use the Attempted, the Faith, the Lockout, and blend my under eye down into the lower lash line. Hello, I want to put a pop of light into my inner corners. I'm not going to use a proper highlight because I don't want this to be too shiny. I want it to be very matte, natural. I'm probably going to use the Below shade here on my densely packed NYX Professional brush in 15 and hit that inner corner. Oh, I got red on it. Oh no! I got red on my brush. Actually, I'm going to hit the upper lid as well. Just here. Brightens the eye a wee bit more. Now, of course, you can still see the eyelid tape. You will be able to see this. Obviously, you can't see it when my eyes are open, but if I blink, you can see it. Now, it's not necessary, but I've got hooded eyes, and I really appreciate having, well, just having the eyelid space to work with when I'm working with makeup. Also, I have watery eye syndrome, and for whatever reason, I find that when my eyelid tape is on, my eyes are less watery. Make of that what you will. While my camera decided to take a sleep for some reason, I put on a tiny bit of mascara. Now, the last bit is to apply the wig. Spirit gum will disturb the foundation you put on, so make sure that when you put it on, you're putting it in the right goddamn place. And here's the finished look. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and you've learned something. And as always, like and subscribe if you like what I do, if you want to see what I do next. Hit that button, that really doesn't hurt you and it helps me a lot. I'm going to try and upload more frequently this summer. I'm going to try for once a week, but we'll see how that goes. You guys know me, I've got no visible disability, which makes life a little bit hard at times. Anyway, I love you all, like and subscribe. Have a lovely day.